G'day and welcome. I'm having another cup of tea. So this one is a series of small videos on a GH Sigma. Now they're no stranger to me. I think we've had about 5 in our family. My brother had to wear it. I had a GLX that my mother used to own, and that was the one I think I mentioned that we turbocharged, and that went from a very heavy, sluggish car to something quite sprightly, and a lot of other cars had trouble catching it. It was a cracker. So I even had a whole lot of parts, and when I met my wife I had no money because I was a student, and I built up a Sigma out of nothing for her, and she drove that around for some time. So I have a lot of familiarity with them, and I found this one. They're shocking for rust and stuff like that, but I found one that's really, really good. So this will allow me to do lots of small videos that are going to be virtually nothing to do in terms of cost, while we finish off the bigger stuff here, because 2019 is about finishing off projects. I've got 2 bikes here, a 750 and a 350. Both need some money spent, and I've got the XC which needs to be finished as well. And I've bought the paint stripper for the boot so that I can get that done, weld up some holes and paint it and all that sort of stuff and get it on the car. So this isn't the usual sort of car that we do here, but it is a car I'm familiar with and a car I'm quite fond of too. So I hope you enjoy. Here we have a 1981 Mitsubishi Sigma. I got this at a very reasonable price. Interested because this is the only model that's sort of shown to be fairly good in terms of retaining value and so on and so forth, because of things like the turbo version and the wear it. Now, I've got a door gap issue there, and there's a slight bit of rust that someone's put some deadener on down there. The rest of it looks pretty good, all things considered. These things are terrible for rust. They have it's like a roll of mastic. They put around the aperture, they pop the screen in, there's 2 wires. There's a wire that goes through the mastic, and they get the 2 ends and they stick it on a transformer and bond the screen in, but they never work that well. And these are known for just rusting out all through here. And also, all your carpets and so forth get all wet and in a mess. Now this one looks to be fairly spotless. There's a stain on the carpet there, but it doesn't smell of anything but sort of oil in here. It sort of smells a bit. I don't think we need that. Shows you how hot it is today though. Things like this are easy. We can take that off. I will put a piece of steel behind there, bond it to that, and so that the screws are actually through the steel. It'll keep that nice and straight, and so it doesn't look as untidy as that. That's the last of our worries though. Somebody's drilled the door trims for speakers, which we're going to take out. We can repair the masonite behind there, because these cards you can't replicate that, and pop a new piece of carpet in, and that'll make it look a lot better. A-pillars look really, really good. That a bit more. It really is a bit of a cracker, this thing. That's the reason I picked it up. I think what we're going to do with this, the seats do feel a bit sacked down. We'll take these off. They actually feel alright, the trim looks alright. We'll take the covers off and we'll clean them up. We'll do what we did with the Starlet. We'll pull the whole interior out, have a good look at the sheet metal. That's a bit heavy, the plastic trim, but that doesn't matter. Somebody's put, that felt loose, hang on. Oh no, it's not too bad. Somebody's put Tarago wheels, or they're not GSR Sigma, I don't know what they are, but it did come with its original wheels. Now, this is a satellite. It's a Sigma satellite. It would have had stickers down here that said satellite. That stripe there is aftermarket. I would be inclined, if I ended up doing any painting on this, to redo it all and paint the stripe in. But yeah, satellites had the 2-tone paint. They had a sports steering wheel, which is still there. What else did they have? Cloth seats, that's another thing they had, the cloth seat facings. That one's sacked out. I think when we take that off to wash it, we'll put a new piece of foam on there to tighten it up again. I think that's about all I had from memory. Oh, right on the bottom of the screen. Anything else that I think of? Aftermarket fader, so somebody's drilled a hole in there. It's probably had a CB or something, I don't know, but it doesn't look too bad. The fortunate thing is that they kept the original instrument cluster. This has a clock that doesn't work, obviously. It could be fused, I don't know. The high series one, of the sports one, where the voltmeter goes, they didn't have a voltmeter, they had a digital clock there. And above the fuel gauge, they had an orange light which said fuel. It was what's called a fuel pacer. Gosh, what were they? VC? I'm not sure what VCs had them. VH Commodores, XE Falcons had a vacuum gauge on them. And these didn't have a light that came on when your engine locked back in through hard acceleration or whatever. The rear muffler is absolutely shagged. This is the first time I've seen it too. Turn the ignition on. Have we got a radio?
Games are social.
There has always been a social element to games. I mean, games, even before they were online and connected, they were about playing with each other in the lounge room. And
I don't know if the cassette works. Really, Mr. Seamster. Well, it's getting power anyway. Yeah, that's excellent. But we're not getting anything at the top. Looking at the doors, they look pretty good. This one here has a similar arrangement to the Fords. It doesn't have a check strap. It has like a detent thing. And there's not much in the way of spring tension there. Hinge-wise, hinge is tight. There's no slack in the hinge. So, whoops, sometimes the Falcons sag and that sort of stuff. Oh, that's the other thing satellites have. We've got the two-tone paint, the sports steering wheel, the cloth seat facings, and they had wheel covers. I don't know if they look like SE, Sigma SE. I think we'll take those out and have a look at the back seat. Let's see what that yields. That came with the car, actually tread-wise, don't look too bad. They're not on the wear indicators yet. They're not too far off. But the date code is 15th week of 2009, so tyres have a 5-year shelf life, so they're no good. Looking at the doors, not bad. There's a bubble there on the seam, but that's not bad at all. Have a look at the others as well. Wheel-wise, it's not bad at all. It doesn't look to be anything buckled, but not just that. If these are the original ones off the car, it doesn't look like the axle seals are leaking. So let's have a look in here. Then we'll take all these blankets and towels and stuff off and look with a bit of repadding. That's excellent. Thought they were cigarette burns, but there's none even. Cigarette burns in here, a bit of fading across the top, which is normal. Both legs of the rear demister are still there, which is cool. That's good. That's not too bad at all. It had two lots of seat covers. These sheepskin, I would be more inclined to call them lambswool. They're completely threadbare. And it had those other black things on top. So I'm going to pull these off and we'll have a look at the seat underneath. You always go for the driver's because it's always the worst seat. This is fantastic. There's a whole lot of years and years worth of just crap, dust and that sort of stuff there. But there's no tears. The worst in the whole lot is that tiny cigarette burn. And really that's not too much to worry about. Now this car looks like it's also had floor mats all its life. If you look at the carpet under there, that's as new. It's absolutely great. Although we've got a homemade stitching job there. And I can do a bit better than that. I'll tell you what though, this is shaping up to be a bloody peach the way it is. It just looks completely untouched. Door escutcheons aren't sticking down properly, they're a bit knackered. But the locks haven't lost their chrome or anything. I think this thing's been in a carport or garage all its life. I'm going to give it a quick vac and we'll come back. I want to show you in the boot though, something quite unusual. The boot mat is mint. These things deteriorate really quickly. I know from one we had. You can see the fasteners are in good condition. I don't know if we can see down there. There's probably a bit of rust and crap down there, I'm not sure. I can see something. We need to vacuum all that out and have a good look down there, but from what I can see it's not too bad. There's no holes or anything though. Oh, there's one there for the bumper. The boot light's still there, the switch for it. Here's a quick test. The boot seal's absolutely knackered. I'm not going to be able to get that off without destroying it. We'll need to have a look under there to make sure those lips are alright. Here we go. Good goodness me, that is so bloody good. You just never see them like this. Never. There's a bit of activity there. I would weld that up, I wouldn't cut anything out. Let's just run the gauntlet and take the rest of this off there. God, these things are always hammered. This is a peach. Uh-oh, hang on, I've spoken too soon. Oh no. No, that's cool. Just a little bit there. That is stupid easy to fix. Ridiculously easy. And what's up the top? I do have to put the seal back on. Absolutely mint. So the boot seal is like, has had it, but all the sheet metal around it is absolutely perfect. That is a coup. Let's pull this stuff out and have a look. Mitsubishi. Might be the original one. Don't know. What have we got? That mat is incredible. Look at it. It's never even had water on it. Can I pull it out and have a look? Hang on a sec. Let's take this wheel out. So I've got another one of these. I've got a few Sigma bits lying around in the garage from years and years ago. This is the original steel wheel that they used. All your GLs and SEs used, and it was only, even GLXs, it was only the alloy wheel option on the SE and GLX. Okay, what have we got? Bridgestone RE92. How old is this? And I'm not going to do a My Classic tyre because that's not my gig. It won't be that old. But I can't see a date code on it. What does it say? Maybe it's on the side. It's okay. I don't know what that means. Not sure. Anyhow, look at this. Perfecto. Beautiful. And we got the cover, which somehow goes on the fuel sender down in there. The rest of it's minter. Right, just leave it alone. So give it a bit of a clean. Very, very rudimentary. You can see the seat trim is wonderful, although it is stretched. So I think there's also dirt sort of ingrained in there. I think what we'll do, that's just a quick vacuum. I think we'll take the covers off, we'll bang them in the wash, and we'll put a layer of foam down just to give it a bit more, make it a bit more taut. You've seen the carpets there, a little rip over there. I've got it in the shade now, so it's a bit easier to see. Everything works, wipers, intermittent, all the lights except the right-hand high beam. I haven't cleaned these up yet, but they will clean up as well. They're fine, we need a door handle. But you can see it's in really, really good nick. I'm most impressed with it. The boot, as we said, the rim, the lip around the boot's perfect. We've given it a bit of a clean, looks alright. Maybe we can see down here a bit better now. Just bits of plastic bag down there, but you know what? It all looks fairly good. So, that's all good. This bits of boot seal are dropping off. These areas in here, there could be something there, I don't know. I think that's just sealer, I don't think there's anything nasty there. Ditto on this side, looks lovely. It's got a ball bearing in the ashtray. Seat belts all work, checked all that. And did I mention all the lights? This is loose, gotta have a look at that. And all good. Now let's look at the bad stuff. Someone's done their own primer repairs here. They've brushed a sort of a priming sort of thing on. The problem with metallics is they're very hard to match. And it's also got little bits like this. Now if I do paint any of this, it's going to be not so much a closed door respray, but I'm not going to be taking doors off to paint them or anything like that. I want this car to be a sort of a roller. So things like this can be fixed. There's a dent there. That line there is still cool. That's still alright. It's just a dent underneath it. Engine bay could use some work. Okay, it's an Astron 2000. Very, very strong little engine. The Galants, I think, had 14 and 1600 Saturns, and the base model Sigmas had a 1600 Saturn as well. The Astron was available as an 1850 in the GE Sigma. The GH, they dropped it. The 2 litre was the smallest Astron. Of course, they went to the 2.6. You could get 2.6s in Gs as well, but they were sort of a later option. I think they were only in autos, I'm not terribly sure. We got oil leaks, and not a big deal. I'm not too worried about that. These engines, as I said before, a turbocharged one. They've got stellated exhaust valves, steel rods, steel cranks. They've got all sorts of goodies in them, so they're ultra strong. The thing that lets them down is that stupid carburetor with the wax pellet choke. The carbies on these really let them down, which is the reason they just plume out black smoke, because the chokes never work properly on them. At least when they get some age in them, they don't. So that's the reason with the CD175 on a turbocharger, they work particularly well. The engine was really, really good. This one though, these are known for cracking blocks, and I've seen two. I've had two Sigmas with cracked blocks, and that's the Achilles heel of them. Normally they crack under the exhaust there, between the middle Welsh plug and the exhaust mount, or the engine mount I should say. This one has a horrendous leak down yonder, if you can see that, and I'm tipping that's probably not a Welsh plug, it could be a crack, I'm not sure. So I need to investigate that. That would be a pain in the ass. Now in saying that, these things I've seen with 302 Windsors in them, I've seen them with 302 and 351 Clevelands, I've seen them with Commodore or Buick if you like V6s, I've seen them with Mitsubishi V6s, I've seen them with 308 Holdens, I've seen them with everything. They're a high bonnet line and they're very, very easy to stick a V8 in. I'm not sure I'd want to do that. I'd sooner either leave it the way it is, if the engine's alright, or turbocharge, if I can find the right kit. So, what we need to do, I don't want it getting too warm, because we're losing coolant left, right and centre. Oh, he's filled it up. Oh, it doesn't matter then. We'll start him up and have a listen to what it sounds like. I'm in neutral, there's no clutch safety on these. Hang on, that's second, that's neutral there. Here we go. We've got a hole in the rear muffler. Right there, which sounds rubbish. It does smell a bit like burning oil, which will be guides probably. It seems to run alright. If there's any roughness there, it'll definitely be the carburetor. These were the first car I ever saw with a cold air intake as well. That one's a bit buggered, but it's a bit grungy in there, but it's not white, that's one thing. See, I've had this forever. Quite a while. Options, where are the options? I can't remember. I'm just going to look for the options, just a moment. Alright, they're the options on my old one. Two are the same, E15 and D26. E15 is 2-litre Astron. D26 I think is the 5-speed manual. And A57 my other one had, and that's the sports pack. This one is E15, D26, C67 and A06. So A06 is your satellite, and what was that one? What is it? C67? Is that what it says? Reclining bucket seats. What the hell? I've never seen a bench seat in one of these. Is that what it says? C67? Yeah, it does. Right. So we know what it is now. So, that's not too good. I think we're going to take that off. I hate these things. I think overall the condition of this is fantastic, next to what it could be. The engine block worries me. I'm going to have a good look at that, ascertain what that is. If it's alright, I'll bang a Welsh plug in, and I'll put an exhaust box on the back and get it on the road quickly. My son has taken a shine to this, he wants to drive it. If it's not, well, it's not. I'll decide then. I've got some muck going on the radiator support. Oh, nice. So obviously we've had a little bit of a smack there. We've got a different colour between here and there. I would think that's had a bit of a belt, judging from that. So we can fix that. That's just a walk in the park, that sort of thing. It's very easy to do. That headlight's out, the high beam. But the rest of it's just really cosmetic stuff and a bit of TLC, really. Even the outer belts are in good nick. They're sort of nice and soft. Right, let's get that wind deflector off. So as far as cutting and welding's concerned, there's rust on the bottom of both front guards. The doors are clean, the quarters are clean. I can't see anything wrong anywhere else. Literally a tack there where that seam was, and the same on the other side. And somebody has also put bigger speakers in and they've just cut a notch there. I'd be inclined to put that back. I know it sounds fussy, but roadworthy guys hate that stuff. The thing I do love about this is the fact that we've got immaculate original carpet underlaying the boot. I mean, how often do you see that? And the boot mat itself is not bad at all. It's certainly well worthy of retaining. Look at it. So that's the in your boot and under your dash and all that. That's how you tell the car's neglected. So that's a real win. I feel like I'm very fortunate having picked this car up for what I paid. And just as a reminder, this is for content. I've got nothing but huge expense with the other cars, so this is going to offer some really nice cheap footage and content for those interested. And it's not the sort of car, as we've mentioned, that would normally be on this channel, but I'm not ashamed at all, because at the end of the day, cars are cars to me. I love them. The other thing I've noticed before I go are the badges. The lenses are fantastic. I'll clean them and buff them. The badges haven't lost their any of their sort of silver paint. Little Astrion one. And that one at the front, we are missing the little Trice diamond Mitsubishi one for the centre. Look, at a GLX or a Werrit or an SE or a Turbo or something would have been nicer. But what would you pay for a Turbo or an SE or Werrit or whatever now? But I am very, very happy indeed. I think this is a win. We turn the ignition on. Mitsubishi have this little thing where you can check your fuses by running the slide across each fuse, and it'll tell you which one's broken or damaged. A nice little feature. So another good thing, that your seller removed the side trims, but they're all immaculate. I've got a full set there, so they're going to go back on eventually. Another nice thing is we've got all tinted glass, which is the same as XC and XD. It's not anti-sun, but it's still tinted. I did notice though, this window here is rattling around because there's no Bailey channel there. I'm going to pop it down a bit, and it's absolutely vanished. Now I've got some of this stuff from the XC. This is the XW stuff. It feels a little bit loose in there. I don't think that's going to cut it. This universal wide stuff, which is quite cheap, still not going to fit. Alright, so we need to find a solution for that. I don't think this thin XW XC quarter window stuff is going to be any good. I don't know who makes... Yeah, it's just not supportive enough for the glass in there, so we'll need to look at that. Besides, it's too easy to pull out. So we'll have to get some Bailey channels. It's still, there's a sample of it still there in the front. And it's just, yeah, it's gone hard, it's stuffed at the top. Hang on a minute, can we pull some down, have a look? No, we can't. Never mind. Not sure what those wheels are off, but they kind of look a bit GSR-ish, but they're not. They're different from the GSR. The other thing is I've got 5 of them, and they're a Mitsubishi wheel, and it's got Topi. Don't know what that is. 5.5 by 14. So I wonder what they're from. Because I'm absolutely not sure. They're not Cordia. I don't think they're Mitsubishi Cordia. I think they were more rounded. Anyway, I've got 5 of those and I don't want them. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to leave and say thanks very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, enjoy Classic, and I'll see you around.